This video will demonstrate how a FireEye sandboxing solution can be evaded and bypassed. We will show that with a lack of emulation at the CPU level, FireEye can be evaded and allow malicious files into the organization. We will download two sets of files, one to create a baseline to see that the FireEye appliance is configured and working as expected. The second file will contain an evasion technique in order to bypass the FireEye first-generation sandboxing solution, and using a known exploit using ROP, which will allow us to run a CryptoLocker malware with elevated privileges. First, we will log into a website from a host machine that is protected by the FireEye NX1400. We will choose to download our first malicious file called sample3 PDF. As we can see, the file completed the download without any problem and entered the network. This is game over, as the malicious file entered our organizational network, and once opened, will begin the infection process. Let's check the work orders to see if the FireEye appliance has sent this file to emulation. As we can see, the file has entered the work order queue and is waiting to be emulated. Once the emulation has completed, we can go to the NX1400 dashboard where we can see the outcome of the emulation. We can now see that indeed the FireEye appliance has found this file to be malicious. Please remember that the file has already entered the corporate network. Now that we know that the FireEye appliance is configured and working correctly, let's download the second file that contains the evasion technique and a known exploit. As we can see again, the file has been downloaded to the host machine located on the corporate network. We can see that this file has been sent to the sandbox, and we are waiting for it to finish its dynamic analysis and receive a verdict. As shown in the dashboard, the number of malicious files has not increased, which means that this file was found to be benign. To make sure that the IP of the host is the IP we are testing, let's open the network configuration screen and take a look. Let's open this file on the host machine. Please note that this host machine is protected by Symantec endpoint protection with all of the latest updates. Once we open up the PDF file, ROP will use a known exploit and will open the malware with elevated privileges. Let's see what happens. As we can see, the document has opened and the malware has started in the background. The malware is in the form of a CryptoLocker, which will encrypt all the documents and picture on this computer. Let's wait and see how fast CryptoLocker can do its damage to our files. As we can see, all the documents and pictures were encrypted, and we received a pop-up that explains how we can save our documents by paying a ransom. Now that we understand that FireEye is susceptible to evasions and obfuscations and can potentially let malware into the organization, let's check out how Checkpoint SandBlast solution handles these kinds of attacks. We will start with going over the policy to make sure that threat emulation is activated and is on prevent mode. We will use a local SandBlast appliance to perform the emulation. We will also make sure to use the recommended settings. Let's download the first sample file. As we can see, the sample3 PDF file was blocked immediately. Let's try to download the PDF file that uses evasion and ROP. As we can see, the file was blocked and was not allowed to go into the network. Let's look at the checkpoint SandBlast log to understand how and why the solution has blocked these files. The sample3 PDF file was deemed malicious due to its attempt to access a known malicious website. We can see that this file contained ROP, which is why it was deemed malicious. Looking further into the log, we see the entire flow of the attempted infection process. At this stage, when ROP was attempted to run, the checkpoint CPU level emulation immediately recognized this malicious behavior and prevented the file from entering the network. This advanced capability makes the checkpoint SandBlast solution evasion resistant because it discovers this behavior at the exploit stage, which is before the evasion had the opportunity to run. Only the checkpoint SandBlast CPU level can discover these types of exploits and be evasion resistant, unlike the FireEye solution, which does not have this unique ability, rendering their solution prone to evasions.